Hello, this is Chapter 5 of Quotations from Mao Tse Tung, Mao Tse Tung's Little Red Book. Chapter 5, War and Peace. First quotation. War is the highest form of struggle for resolving contradictions when they have been developed to a certain stage between classes, nations, states, or political groups, and it has existed ever since the emergence of private property and of classes. Next quotation. War is the continuation of politics. In this sense, war is politics, and war itself is a political action. Since ancient times, there has never been a war that did not have a political character. However, war has its own particular characteristics, and in this sense, it cannot be equated with politics in general. War is the continuation of politics by other means. When politics develops to a certain stage beyond which it cannot proceed by the usual means, war breaks out to sweep the obstacles from the way. When the obstacle is removed and our political aim attained, the war will stop. Nevertheless, if the obstacle is not completely swept away, the war will have to continue until the aim is fully accomplished. It can therefore be said that politics is war without bloodshed, while war is politics with bloodshed. Next quotation. History shows that wars are divided into two kinds, just and unjust. All wars that are progressive are just, and all wars that impede progress are unjust. We communists oppose all unjust wars that impede progress, but we do not oppose progressive just wars. Not only do we communists not oppose just wars, we actively participate in them. As for unjust wars, World War I is an instance in which both sides fought for imperialist interests. Therefore, the communists of the whole world firmly oppose that war. The way to oppose a war of this kind is to do everything possible to prevent it before it breaks out, and once it breaks out, to oppose war with war. To oppose unjust war with just war, whenever possible. Next quotation. Revolutions and revolutionary wars are inevitable in class society, and without them it is impossible to accomplish any leap in social development and to overthrow the reactionary ruling classes, and therefore impossible for the people to win political power. Next quotation. Revolutionary war is an antitoxin that not only eliminates the enemy's poison, but also purges us of our own filth. Every just revolutionary war is endowed with tremendous power and can transform many things or clear the way for their transformation. The Sino-Japanese War will transform both China and Japan, provided China perseveres in the war of resistance. And in the united front, the old Japan will surely be transformed into a new Japan, and the old China into a new China, and people and everything else, both China and Japan, will be transformed during and after the war. That quote was taken immediately antecedent to World War II in May 1938. Next quotation. Every communist must grasp the truth. Political power grows out of the barrel of a gun. Also a quotation from 1938. The seizure of power by armed force, the settlement of the issue by war, is the central task and highest form of revolution. The Marxist-Leninist principle of revolution holds well universally for China and for all other countries. Next quotation. Without armed struggle, neither the proletariat nor the people nor the Communist Party would have any standing at all in China, and it would be impossible for the revolution to triumph. In these years, the 18 years since the founding of the party, the development, consolidation, and Bolshevization of our country have proceeded in the midst of revolutionary wars. Without armed struggle, the Communist Party would assuredly not be what it is today. Comrades throughout the party must never forget this experience for which we have paid in blood. Next quotation. According to the Marxist theory of the state, the army is the chief component of state power. Whoever wants to seize and retain state power must have a strong army. Some people ridicule us as advocates of the omnipotence of war. Yes, we are advocates of the omnipotence of revolutionary war. That is good, not bad. It is Marxist. The guns of the Russian Communist Party created socialism. We shall create a democratic republic. Experience in the class struggle in the era of imperialism teaches us it is only by the power of the gun that the working class and the laboring masses can defeat the armed bourgeoisie and landlords. In this sense, we may say that only with guns can the whole world be transformed. The next quotation. We are advocates of the abolition of war. We do not want war. But war can only be abolished through war. And in order to get rid of the gun, it is necessary to take up the gun. Next quotation. War, this monster of mutual slaughter among men, will be finally eliminated by the progress of human society, and in the not-too-distant future, too. But there is only one way to eliminate it, and that is to oppose war with war, to oppose counter-revolutionary war with revolutionary war, to oppose national counter-revolutionary war with national revolutionary war, and to oppose counter-revolutionary class war with revolutionary class war. When human society advances to the point where classes and states are eliminated, there will be no more wars, counter-revolutionary or revolutionary, unjust or just. That will be the era of perpetual peace for mankind. Our study of the laws of revolutionary war springs from the desire to eliminate all wars. Herein lies the distinction between the communists and the all the exploiting classes. The next quotation. Our country and the other socialist countries want peace. So do the peoples of all the countries of the world. The only ones who crave war and do not want peace are certain monopoly capitalist groups in a handful of imperialist countries that depend on aggression for their profits. The next quotation. To achieve a lasting world peace, we must further develop our friendship and cooperation with the fraternal countries in the socialist camp and strengthen our solidarity with all peace-loving countries. We must endeavor to establish normal diplomatic relations based on mutual respect for territorial integrity and sovereignty, and of equality and mutual benefit, with all countries willing to live together with us in peace. We must give active support for the national independence and liberation movement in countries in Asia, Africa, and Latin America, as well as to the peace movement and to just struggles in all the countries of the world. Next quotation. As for the imperialist countries, we should unite with their peoples and strive to coexist peacefully with those countries, do business with them, and prevent any possible war. But under no circumstances should we harbor any unrealistic notions about them. Next quotation. We desire peace. However, if imperialism insists on fighting a war, we will have no alternative but to take the firm resolution to fight to the finish before going ahead with our reconstruction. If you are afraid of war day in and day out, what will you do if war eventually comes? First, I say that the east wind is prevailing over the west. Wind and war will not break out, and now I have added these explanations about the situation in case war should break out. Both possibilities have thus been taken into account. Next quotation. I guess I'm going to have to do another video. Thanks for listening. See part 2.